The Liberal Party has won a minority government in last night's federal election, and we brought in Frank Napolitano from Mortgage Brokers Ottawa to discuss his thoughts on what the leader's plans will mean for mortgage rates. Good morning to you, Frank.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay,
Long
so
night.
a very long night.
Yeah.
Were you up pretty late?
I watched most of it.
Yeah,
I watched
exactly.
Most of it,
So
a little tired.
here we are, the
Yes.
next day. We know now that the Liberals have formed a minority government. Taking a look now at mortgage rates, the economy. We're talking about all this. First off here, what about home prices? I mean, they're slightly down, aren't they?
We've seen them soften a little bit, and obviously there's more inventory out there. There's more homes for sale. There's Canadians that are rethinking whether owning a home makes any sense, and it's expensive. And you know, by the time you put utilities, property taxes, sometimes rent is cheaper, unfortunately, with the cost of homes these days. And hence why we're seeing the average first-time home buyer age in Ontario up to 40 years old. I mean, 5 years ago it was 35. It's gone up 5 years in a short 5-year time frame. So it's sad. Now, a lot of it is obviously the 40s, probably in Toronto, GTA, probably in the 40s. In Ottawa, it's probably likely closer to 35 years old, but still, that's a long time to wait to be able to get into a home.
Okay, so here we are, April 29th, moving forward here, looking toward the Bank of Canada with the new minority government in place. What can we anticipate here as far as the mortgage rates, interest rates go?
Well, I'd love to say that the new Liberal Party will have a lot to do with it, but unfortunately, we're still bound by what's going on south of the border and the tariffs. And I think the tariffs will play a big part in how we handle President Trump and the tariffs. Will go a long way in determining whether interest rates are going to stay flat, come down like they should, or maybe even go up. Because if tariffs do get implemented and inflation starts to become an issue like it was 3 years ago, we're likely going to see interest rates go up instead of coming down.
So many of the party leaders on the campaign trail talked about the housing crisis. I think that it's actually the affordability crisis, but they promised to build. What do you think? Do you think that we're going to see housing starts rise all of a sudden here over the next 3, 4, 5 months?
Well, I'd like to think that it's going to be 3, 4, 5 months, but reality is it's normally probably into 2026 that we'll likely see some lift. But you know, some of the promises, and hopefully they keep their promises. We've been around long enough to know that promises sometimes go undetected and we forget about them. But, you know, Mark Carney did promise to cut the GST, yes, on new homes for first-time home buyers up to $1 million. So the average home in Ottawa is maybe $600,000. That should be a $30,000 savings. Hopefully, again, the builders pass those on to the consumers. And then on top of that, I think you're going to see a lot of smaller homes being built so that they're affordable enough for first-time home buyers, at least to get their foot in the door into home ownership and maybe live in that. If you're a couple, maybe with one child, you can get away with living in a smaller place for now, a smaller footprint, and then graduate to a bigger footprint as you build some equity in that home.
So what do you think that the housing market will look like for the Ottawa region over the next year or so now with this new government in place?
Yeah, I mean, it's new government, but it's really the old government. It's what we've been used to. You know, I think the federal public servants feel comfortable knowing that they're, you know, and I think that's why the city of Ottawa goes red a lot, because they care about their jobs and like they should, and they vote Liberal because Liberals will protect their jobs. So I think we're not going to see much of a change in Ottawa. What we do need more housing because obviously our population has grown over the last 5 years, but we need the right type of housing to be built as well. So.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh,
it's always
welcome.
great to talk to you about mortgages and real estate, and here we are on a new day here post-election. Frank Napolitano, can we just say go Sens go?
We could say go Sens go. Here's hoping they bring it home on Thursday night.